Hey YouTube, Sandy Frank here. Today's episode of Hobby Talk, it's kind of like a two subject discussion this week. Um, Actually, I'm going to save the second topic for next week's Hobby Talk. So this week's episode of Hobby Talk, I wanted to talk about print runs, especially in the things I follow and pay attention and collect. It seems like print runs are getting a little bit out of hand. And just for example, this year's release of Topps Allen and Ginter, incredibly, even though this is like a product that not a ton of people love, more like just a niche group of collectors that really, I mean, a lot of people love Allen Ginter, but it's not like, Topps Chrome or Bowman Chrome or any of those, sets that a lot of people really follow. This is more of a specialty type set. They actually incredibly almost doubled the print run from 2022 to 2023 of Allen and Ginter, which is really unusual, and I think it just shows how incredibly higher the print runs are of the newer Topps Fanatics products. I think they're also doing this with Star Wars. It seems like some of the Star Wars sets were really printed a lot more than some of the older sets, like Star Wars Chrome, 2023 Star Wars Chrome, the new flagship Star Wars. They seem like they printed way more of that stuff than they used to print of Star Wars sets, which, as a collector, I don't love, but I think it's going to keep the prices down. There's no doubt about that. Like, you'll be able to buy, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find Topps Allen Ginter boxes for around 110 to maybe even less than that. It wouldn't shock me if prices of these drop below 100 at some point, just because you're talking double the number of hobby boxes from last year to this year. So this is the plan of Fanatics. They are just upping the print runs of everything. And what do you guys think? I know some people might think it's a negative, which I think it is a negative, as far as things being rarer. But is it actually a positive if things end up being cheaper and more affordable? I definitely don't want it to get to the junk wax era, where, I can still go down to the local hobby shop and they have they weren't called hobby boxes back then, but sealed boxes of like 1987 Donruss for like $40. Sealed boxes of like 1990 Topps, 1990 Score, way less than hobby boxes go nowadays. And back then, of course, they printed it to the moon. It's called the junk wax era. Look how much is still out there sealed. Incredible. There are people that are starting to get back into it, no doubt. And maybe people don't realize that there's so much of it out there. They're getting those member berries of seeing, oh, I used to open this when I was a kid. Some 87 Topps or 88 Topps, 87 Donruss. But not realizing that in actuality, there's still tons of that stuff sealed to this day. But, if you open stuff for the fun of it, who cares? It's cheap fun rip. Nobody cares if there's a gazillion of it printed. It's fun. Are they getting to be that way with like 2023 baseball products? And I don't think they're quite there yet with like Star Wars stuff, but they're definitely starting to get there with baseball. You can buy Series 1 baseball, Series 2 hobby boxes for very good prices for 2023, which, maybe in the long run, this is great, people can, get back to, like, normal collectors can get back to buying a hobby box. It got to a point where, you had to be, you know, some rich guy to be able to buy some of this stuff. And haven't been able to buy a bunch of stuff lately that I used to love to buy. Look at the football and basketball hobby boxes. They're insane. Like thousands of dollars on release day. I never want baseball to get that way. So, so in a way, this probably is a good thing. But, as far as like buying sealed boxes of stuff and hoping that it's going to go up in price, it's probably a lot tougher road to roll. Now, this is not just happening with Fanatics. You look at Pokemon. They've been upping the print runs to just insane, like billions and billions of Pokemon cards printing every year, and they seem to have a pretty good pulse on the markets and stuff to not severely overprint, but you can definitely tell that they're printing a lot of this new era, the Scarlet and Violet era, and you can definitely tell in the card qualities ever since like post-pandemic. I'm saying like 2021 till now, card quality has been suffering greatly with Pokemon cards. And you can point right to the fact that they have to just run the presses 3 times faster than they probably used to. So the card quality takes a big hit. And Topps the same way. The Topps products have been pretty poor quality. I think they're getting some of those problems fixed here lately. But they're still printing a ton and printing way more than they did before. You look at MetaZoo, MetaZoo way overprinted their stuff. I don't know. I know they were hot at one time, but man, did they ramp up their. It was overconfidence on how MetaZoo was going to take off. It was very popular for a year, and now they're getting crushed because you have Lorcana out there, you got Sorcery, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, One Piece. MetaZoo is buried on the list of TCGs that people care about. What massively overprinted stuff. And that stuff suffers because you can go. Here's this box right here is Cryptid Nation 2. Or not Cryptid Nation 2. Cryptid Nation 2nd edition. Yeah, you can, if you look hard enough, I found these boxes for 20 some bucks a piece for booster boxes. And this was not as printed as much as like Wilderness. It hasn't completely collapsed, but if you're patient enough, I bet you could find some Wilderness for less than $50 a booster box and UFO. It was just it was a weird time of overprinting stuff, and now you're gonna see some of this stuff filter over into some of these baseball sets. If they're continuing to double the print runs on stuff, it's not gonna hold up as a sealed product. It's gonna drop because just like card shops, gaming stores have to dump product to buy new product. Some of these hobby shops are going to have to dump their products to buy other stuff. So the stuff that's way overprinted, it's just going to be readily available for much cheaper. Not everybody can hold vast quantities of, a certain product. I mean, just look at Pokemon, MetaZoo, Magic the Gathering. Eventually, people have to move that stuff. When I buy sealed stuff, though, I'm not a big business. I buy it just to put away a few boxes. I'm not putting away pallets and pallets of cases. You know what I mean? So, I have some sealed Pokemon stuff and MetaZoo stuff, which I have no intention on ever moving. I just want to have it for, someday I'll be retired and I'll want to rip some packs. And guess what? I have some. I don't have to go out and buy any. And you know, if I'm lucky and they went up in value, I could sell some. You know, buy some other stuff. You know, but I'm not vested in the stuff like a business would be, where they have to make money. Anyway, what are your guys' thoughts on print runs? What do you think of Allen Ginter nearly doubling their print run from just last year for a set that's not even like really considered a major? I mean, it's a major Tops release, but it's not one of the key sets from a year. Like, I don't even think it's has as many people collect it as like Heritage. You know, I mean, it's a nichey, really cool set that people like me love. But man, double the print run, wow! And you can. It's not like you can't find 2022 Allen Ginter stuff out there. It's still out there. So where they're going to be selling all these boxes and who's going to be buying all of them, I don't know. Maybe they're banking on, you know, them putting all these rookie quarterbacks and I can't ever say his name right, Victor Wembanyama cards. Maybe they're counting on basketball and football collectors buying this year's Allen Ginter. Who knows? Thank you for watching. Put down in the comments what you guys think. Stay tuned for more videos. Later.